Hello and away we go. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Saturday afternoon once again, and it's the Enhanced Sports Show. My name is Lou Tenor, and I welcome you all. Of course, the number to dial is 512-543-4662. Once again, 512-543-4662. And we'll be here till just before 6 o'clock before Marcel McGee takes over his fine program. Don't forget, you can check us out with Kevin Dixon's sports show on Monday nights from 7 to 9 called Just Us Sports. And Betty Cantley will debut with her show with the next week or two, maybe even tomorrow. That'll be from 6 to 7:30, if I'm not mistaken. Don't forget, you can check us out on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type in The Enhanced Sports Show, and you'll hear this show in its entirety. All right, we got a lot to get through this month. May is a big month in the sports world. In fact, I think through the next 3 to 4 months is going to be a pretty big few months in the sports world. I'll explain. Oh, first, let me bring in my crew here. I'm going to start with Steve Davidson. Still there, Steve? Mm-hmm. Steve David. Steve Kent. Mikey. All right. All right. So let's run down this whole list. Starting today with the Kentucky Derby, and I'll take your predictions on that a little bit later on. We got the PGA Championship in golf. I think that's in either a week or two, if I'm not mistaken. French Open Championship. That's in tennis. Of course, you can't forget about the Indy 500. Of course, it's Memorial Day weekend, the Memorial Day Classic. And of course, the NHL and NBA playoffs are still going on. And big game tonight, right? Big game tonight. That's right. You should be. Exactly. We'll get to that in a little bit, Steve. We'll get to that in a little bit. But, so just run down of it. So it's going to be a pretty big month in the sports world. So hope you can get as much of it as you possibly can. And, of course, the NFL suspended of the week. Get that out. All right. Yes, Thursday. All right. So let's run down the baseball standings right here. If I can find it. Yes, there we go. And it goes like this, as we do every month this time. Orioles are 22, 21 and 11, have the American League, have the lead in the American League East, but not by much. Sox, despite them being a mash unit, are respectably at 18 and 15, 3.5 back. Sorry, Red Sox fans for saying that. Blue Jays and the Rays, a disappointing 15, 18, 6.5 back. All right, not terrible, but not great. I mean, you're 3.5 back. I know it's only the beginning of May. Three games back below 500 is not a big deal at this point. Either is being at 6.5 back, but you got to start, making some headway a little bit before you get to say June or July when the games really start mattering more. So nothing too worried about in the American League East. Now over to the Central, the Guardians, the Guardians. I can't say that. Are 20 and 12, a half game lead with the Royals at 20 and 13, big improvement from last year. The Twins 18 and 13, a game and a half back. The Tigers 16 and that's 18 and 15, 2.5 back, not bad. Hey, Tigers are a surprise this year so far. And the White Sox are a miserable, pathetic, a complete joke of a team. You ready for this, guys? 6 and 26, 14 back. That's what I said. 6 and 20. That is not a misprint, folks. That is the actual correct total. 6 and 26. Before I go on to this, let me ask a question. What in the world is wrong with the White Sox? Can anybody answer me that? Yeah, it's mid-May, but if you're only winning 6 games at the start of this season, and it's the first week of May, there's something got to be wrong with your pitching or the hitting. You've virtually almost no chance of making the postseason whatsoever, much less making 500. You'll be lucky if you make 50 wins this year. You just might be as worse than 62 Mets at this point. Oh my goodness, that's embarrassing. Any thoughts on this shame of a team right now? Anybody can answer. This is a free for all. Dirty. Yeah, probably. What management? Yeah. Uh-huh. Very well. They could have. Yeah, right. Well, yeah. No, they don't. A trash dump. Oh boy, here we go with that one. Yeah. Phew. You can, you can say that again because the Oakland A's are bad enough, but this is even worse than that. I mean, only 6 games in the first 6 weeks of the season. That is terrible. I mean, that is brilliant. Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, right. Yeah. Well, like I've always said, everybody, that what looks good on paper does not always translate onto the field or on the court, whatever the case may be. And it is certainly not translating onto the field here at this point in the season. And only 6 wins. At this point, you might say they might be ceased to exist. Oh, oh, sorry. Okay, first bad joke of the day. That's out. Yuck. Okay, onward we go. My goodness. All right, to the West. Uh, okay, this is well fairly tight for the first three teams. The Mariners 17-15, a half game ahead of the Rangers, last year's World Series champions, 17-16. A's, hey, this isn't bad now. 16-17, only a game and a half out. Not bad. Not bad for a team who was not wanted in Oakland. Oh boy. And the Astros and Angels 12-20, five and a half back. Five back. Still. Last year's runner, last year's ALCS runner up. Oh boy, they taking a nosedive. All right. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. National League. The Phillies have taken the lead. That's right. The Phillies have taken the lead. 22-11. Braves 20-10, a half game back. The Mets, 16-16, five and a half back. But I will give them credit because they did start out this first week of the season at 0-6, and they have, well, been up a little bit around here, so it's not terrible. The Nationals are also 16-16, five and a half back. And the Fish, aka the Marlins, 9-25, 13 and a half back. Oh boy. To the Central, the Brewers, 20-11, have a 2 game lead over the Cubs, 19-14. Hey, 2016 all over again, maybe. The Reds, not bad, 16-16, four and a half back. Cardinals, 15-17, five and a half back. And the Pirates, yeah, not too surprising though, 14-19, seven back. Yeah, another losing season in Pittsburgh. Okay, the West. Okay, this looks like to be the worst division so far this year. The Dodgers are the only team above 500 at 21-13. Everybody else is below 500, with the Padres at 17-18, four and a half back. The Giants 15-18, five and a half back. More like they're playing midgets instead of Giants. Oh boy. The D-backs 14-19, six and a half back, and the Rockies a Rocky Mountain low at 8-24, 12 back. All right, so let me ask, now that we're in the first month of the season, what has been your biggest surprises so far in the league, and what has been your disappointment? Like I didn't know, Steve. Steve Davidson, we'll start that with you. The biggest surprise so far and the biggest disaster. Well, well, that's not really a surprise. I mean, come on. I mean, when you're that bad, that's not a surprise at all. So that's you know, yes, Steve Kent. Yes, yeah, and not so much they've been injured. Yeah. And back. Oh, that's true. Yeah, yes. That is sad. Uh, yeah, yeah. I don't know. No, 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 no. Mike? Let's not surprise though at all. Dana? Excuse me. Yeah, best and the worst so far. Who's your big surprises? No, 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 because that season's over. So we're just concentrating on the baseball standings right now because the regular season's over. We'll say decent. We shall see what happens. Okay. Well, my biggest surprise so far, I think I would have to say the Detroit Tigers so far because usually by now they're pretty much like 5, 10 games below 500. That wouldn't surprise me at all. So they really stepped up. Yeah, I know they're in fourth place right now, but they are within striking distance. It's only 2.5 between first and fourth, and they're holding their own this year. In fact, the best division I think so far right now, with the exception of the White Sox, is the AL Central, which used to be a complete joke for most of the existence. And Phillies, I kind of like too so far. I mean, maybe they might make a case, um, for postseason. I gotta say the biggest disappointment has got to be the Astros. Last year's ALCS runner-ups, 12-20 right now. This is kind of shocking. I'm not surprised with the White Sox. They haven't done anything since they won the since they won the World Series back in 2015, and they've been a crash and burn ever since. So I'm not surprised with that at all. Ugh. Yeah, I know it's Marlins. Yeah, but I'm used to them losing. So like I said, biggest surprise, like biggest shocks, because the Marlins, doesn't really shock me. But then again, 9-25 at this point in the season, that is more disappointing than usual. So I guess you can say that. Yeah. Well, all I can say is, way to go, stupid. You might just cause your chance for a winning season because of your stupidity and your bias of who you hire as a manager, general manager, whatever the case may be, you blew it this time, buddy. It's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you. You know, I don't care. I don't care what if you're a man or woman. If they're capable of doing the job, I say keep them. Just because someone's like a woman or a minority, or whatever the case may be, if they're capable of doing the job, let them do it. Okay, forget about this nonsense with it's a gender thing or it's a race thing or whatever. No, it doesn't matter. The one thing that matters is how they do the job properly. Right. Even more so to keep her on. Even more so to keep her on. Boy, and people think I'm dumb. And people think I'm dumb. Okay. We got we got Alex, we got Diana, and we got all right. I think Diana is like being bugged. Diana, I'll come back to you in a little bit. I think Diana is being bugged. Interesting. All right. Okay, so now we'll go on to the hockey playoffs as it's been a very interesting season. Before I begin, Steve, I'm sorry that my Rangers just beat up on your Capitals. I really am. Wow. Well, then again, I wasn't surprised. I mean, you got the lineup that the Rangers have, and of course they did win the President's Trophy, and their defense, against in game two was superb. And, because the Capitals did try to make a run late in that game and, try to tie it up. But that defense by the Rangers has been way too strong, and that's what overpowered them. And they've held up on offense, and they've held up on the offense this year as well. So it's no wonder why the Rangers have been able to sweep this series. I was kind of thinking that myself. Normally, I think normally most people think, come on, you're joking. They're not going to sweep. That's impossible. Well, this year, I think the Rangers team has something special in them. Even though you got a troublemaker on the team who wants to be the next Ty Domi, you guys know what I mean with that, right? Yeah, but I know, but right. No, but who I was who I was referring to as because Rempe I think is the next Ty Domi because Ty Domi was an animal too in his day. I mean, remember it is of course. Oh well, okay, well, I mean that. Well, you gotta have talent to get in. Otherwise, one person at a time. Right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. One maroon. One maroon. Oh boy. Hmm. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on a second. Diane, are you there? Okay. Um, wait, I'll tell you when you get home, okay? Yeah, I'll call you back. Yeah, something's wrong with that line. All right, so to continue on the Rangers win, um, Panarin, Artemi Panarin, got the go ahead going on power play in the third period. Igor Shesterkin, 23 saves as the President's Trophy is going to the second round. The things we have done over this 18-game season is something we do in the postseason, said Mike Zibanejad, and a very good center he is. We're building towards this, and I believe we can be better, but won a hard-fought series and are ready for round two, which will begin tomorrow. That has now been given. Trade deadline pickup Jack Roslovic sealed it with the empty netter in the third. The Rangers now face the winner of the Hurricanes and Islanders, which is now complete, as they will now play the Hurricanes as they beat the Islanders in 5 games. Sorry for you Islanders fans about there. So my matchup for the Eastern Conference Finals is still intact for now. Depending on what happens between the Leafs and the Bruins series. Oh boy, that's gonna be a matchup. I mean, the thing is, Steve, that Boston I think has in the bag, and then Toronto just found its way to fight back in there and make this a competitive series. But I wonder if Austin Matthews is not playing tonight, can the Bruins win the series? You're the Bruins fan, so you, of course. Uh-oh. Hmm. Mm. Yeah, of course. Why? Why not? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. By choking twice? Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Very lackluster. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Anyone else? No. No. There is no pressure. Right. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes. Hmm. Absolutely. Oh yeah. No, not at all. Anyone else want to chime in on that before we move on to the next one? All right. Yeah. No. I mean, the last year was a total collapse because they had the President's Trophy. They set all kinds of records last year. I mean, I don't think this year will be as devastating if they lose, but still, it's a big disappointment. I mean, last year you went from winning the President's Trophy, had the most points and the most wins than anybody else in regular season history, and you choked in the first round. But then again, injuries did develop, so that could be a factor there. This would be almost as devastating, but not as catastrophic. I mean, it could happen. I mean, like you said, the Leafs have found a way to win even without Matthews. But in a Game 7 type situation, I don't know. I think the pressure might be on the Leafs, despite the fact you said they have no pressure. I don't know. I think I might see some here. Hmm. Yes. Exactly. Reverse the curse. Okay. All right. So I got some other hockey news here. The NHL has named Sergei Borovsky, Thatcher Demko, and Connor Hellebuck as finalists for the Vincent Trophy. That's the goaltending award. The trophy goes to the goaltender who has the best position. Was voted by the league's general managers, with Borovsky, Demko, and Hellebuck in the top three votes for this season. Borovsky has won it twice. Uh, was a critical component after the success of reaching the Stanley Cup Finals eighth seed team last season. This team into the season with high expectations while also managing a roster with players who required offseason surgeries. It made Borowski even more vital when he finished with a 36-17-4 record and a goals against average of 2.37. Not bad. It helped the Panthers win their second straight division title in 3 seasons while setting the second highest point total in franchise history. Borowski was third in wins and goals against average and seventh in save percentages. Hellebuck, we're going to say, or for the halibut, oh boy, who also won the 20 award in 2020, played a significant role as the Jets became one of the league's best teams as they finished with 110 points and was in contention for the President's Trophy, and they choked. Halbach finished with a 37-19-4 record with a respectable 2.29 goals against average and a state percentage of 92.1. Good up for second in wins and second in percentages, and fourth in goals against average. And finally, Demento, who was looking for his first and best season ever despite missing games with a knee injury. He got the Canucks to 109 points and finished with a 35-14-2 record, or 35-14-4, 6, depending on how you look at shootout wins and losses. Goals against average 2.45, and a save percentage of 9.18. Demento was sixth in wins, fifth in goals against average, and third in save percentages. And by the way, the Canucks advanced to the second round as well last night. What was a more boring game, but came out with on top with 1:14 to go in the third period. Wow. All right. So who do you like for the award? Do we like? I'll read the numbers again. A. Borowski. B. Demeko. C. Halbert. All right, Steve Davidson, your choice. A, B, or C. You're gonna go with Borowski. Steve Kidd. Yeah. All right. Yes. Jimmy. Jimmy. Yes. Yes. Exactly. All right. Mike. Dana. Yes. Take an educated guess. Borowski. Yes. All right. Diane. Diane. Demeko. Okay. I'm gonna go with the majority and say Borowski. I mean, he is the best. I think among the goaltenders, with the exception of the Rangers. I wonder when Jonathan Quick was involved because he just goes. Well, then he's only a backup, but still does a respectable job. Okay, so we're gonna run. Let's run down the hockey schedule for now. As I said, tonight is a Game 7 matchup. Leafs and Bruins. I still say the Bruins are gonna take it. I didn't say it was gonna be an easy game, but I do think they have enough to win on their home ice in Game 7. I don't see a repeat of last year's ultimate choke. That's putting it mildly. So let's run down the rest of the schedule, and it goes like this. All right. Oh, also tonight. Okay, yeah, because tomorrow is other series. Okay, Rangers versus Hurricanes. That's a 4 o'clock game. 4 o'clock. What a weird time for a Sunday afternoon game. So let me start with the home crowd first. Mike, how many games? 5 games. All right. Diane, how many games? A sweep. I like it. I like it. Hey, hey, I like that here, guys. I like it. I like it. All right. Steve Davidson in 5. Okay. Dana. Nice. Okay. Did I miss anybody? I think I got everybody. And if Alex, okay, Steve, what do you got? Right. I went with that first instead of the home crowd. So who do you like, Steve? Ooh, okay. That's true. All right. Okay. Tomorrow night, The Knights versus the Stars. This is going to be an interesting matchup, I think. Series is tied at 3. I knew that the Knights had something in them going into this series. I mean, you're not last year's chance for nothing. So I knew they're going to put up a fight here. And this is going to, I think, be a very interesting game tomorrow night. So we got the Knights and Stars. Winner goes on to round 2. All right, Steve Davidson, who do you got in this game? The Knights and the Stars. They will. TBS, 7:30. TBS. Yeah, but they're not big enough for the finals. All right. You can. Uh-huh. Uh, Already. Mike, Dana, Diane, Jimmy. Can I flip a coin? Can I flip a coin here on this one? Because I can't really tell. I mean, I think it's going to be a big toss up, to be honest with you. I mean, both these teams have done very well. I mean, okay, so the Stars have the home advantage, but, it doesn't always really apply, even sometimes in game 7. I'm really torn on this one. But if I was betting on this game, you know what? I think I go with the Knights. Call me crazy, but I think I see something here, and with enough to advance the second round. Of course, I could be wrong, but that's the way I'm looking at it. Well, wish me luck tomorrow. Oh boy, yeah, and the rest of the schedule will be determined after this is all done. I mean, not for that. Is it me, or has the first round of this series, these series, have gone longer than usual, or is it just me? Anybody can answer this question because it seems to be taking longer this year than it has been. Yeah, I mean, I remember back when you can finish something about the series in 10 days. Now it's taken almost over 2 weeks, and Game 7, the first round, is not even done yet with some of these series, and we've been in this now for 2 weeks already. I mean, except for the Rangers, everybody else has gone deep in their series. I mean, that could be the problem right there. But it just seems like it's been longer this year than usual. Or am I just cracking up? Some of them are, yes. Or am I just cracking up? Okay, yeah, that's true. Right. Yeah. Mm, yeah. That makes sense. Okay, I think I get it now because it just seems like it's gone longer this year than it normally has. I thought just being crazy. But then again, to me, I think I am crazy. That's the story over there. Alrighty, moving down the line because I think I got some more hockey news here. At least I should. And like I said, the Never Say Die Maple Leafs will try to pull the upset tonight. We'll see. All right. On to the Canucks. Coach Rick Tocchet, great player by the way, at one time, told Plus Suter to keep shooting. Suter did just that, and it worked. With just under 100 seconds to go left in regulation in a boring game, unless you like defense, the Canucks defeated the Yahoos, aka the Predators, 1-0 last night with just under 100 seconds to go in regulation. The Predators could have forced overtime with a power play with 33 seconds remaining after Elias Lindholm was called for cross-checking Gustav Lindquist. Even when goaltender Juicy Soros pulled for an extra attacker, the Predators could not stop Canucks rookie goaltender Arturas Zvegas before time expired. The final 4 games of the series were decided by 1 goal. First-year coach of the Predators, Andrew Barrett, said this might have been the toughest series he has ever coached in. And replaying the final 33 seconds, the finalist for the Jack Adams Award, which is Coach of the Year, said He saw some opportunities that were missed. You're going to get in one of these games. Now, hockey games can be cruel sometimes. Burnett, that is so true. Uh, Savaias made 28 saves and became the 14th goaltender in NHL playoff history to finish a series victory with a shutout, and only the fifth time in the last 30 years to do so. Isn't that something? He was thrown into a crazy scenario, said Canucks forward TJ Miller. We've heard that name before. Saying that Savaias, he made the saves into in such a big, crazy environment, and we are very happy for him. The Canucks now will face the Edmonton Oilers, who finished second behind the Canucks in the Pacific Division as they went into the first round. All right, let me get your thoughts on that. Canucks Oilers, Steve Davidson. That's all right. Steve Kent, Miriam. Yeah, yeah, yes, right. Mikey, Dana. Okay, so Canucks. Alex. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so you got the Rangers. You got the Rangers over Carolina, then, correct? Okay, Jimmy, Canucks Oilers. Yeah, Diane, Diane, Miriam. Hello, Miriam. Yes, I know you're there. Come on in. Obviously, she's having a little bit of trouble. All right, we'll get her reactions later. All right. As for me, yeah, I want to see the 30th anniversary of the Rangers myself. So yeah, I'm going Canucks, and I'll get in six though, because this is going to be a tough match. This is not going to be a cakewalk by any means. Yeah, this will not be a cakewalk at all. All right. So moving on. Um, okay, so now I'll move on to the NBA. As well, my Knicks did it. Yep, they managed to beat the 76ers in 6 games. Wasn't going to be easy. And Joel Embiid, made a case. Of course, but but the series also had a lot of controversy as well. I mean, missed calls by the referees, which they should be better than that because that's what you're getting paid for. But you don't do it. You don't do it right. And it cost Knicks the game in game two, and I think it cost the Sixers in game six. But I'll tell you, in those games, Embiid should have been called for a flagrant foul too for those dirty plays that he made on the Knicks. Instead, they got away with it, and that's why Philly, I think, won game two. But it was just it was just unreal. So to update you on the situation, they advanced to the second round thanks to Jalen Brunson. The All Star guard led the Knicks to a 3-point series country victory over the Sixers. He scored 41 points. It was his third straight playoff game with at least 40 points, fourth with at least 37. That's something we have not seen since the days of some guy named Michael Jordan. Never heard of him. We'll now face the Pacers in the second round game. The first round game schedule is Monday night. Keep that in mind. I guess it's Monday night. Now start that. I know what you're thinking. Well, look, the Pacers and Knicks have had their rivalries. Sometimes the Knicks came out on top, like in '94, and then the revenge series in '95 when they beat us, thanks to some guy named Reggie Miller. But I don't think it's the same Pacers team as it was back then in '95 and whatnot. So I think it's going to be a completely different series, especially if Bruce can stay on his game. I think they might have this. So anyway, putting away the Sixers was much easier task in the first quarter when they were up by 22, but then the Sixers took control of the second and even took a 10-point lead in the locker room. So it looked like they were going to pull up an amazing comeback, and we beat them for a game 7. Not to be. The Knicks had a 9-point lead in the fourth, but the Sixers came back to tie the game with 35 seconds left. Josh Hart's three-pointer gave the Knicks a lead, and a subsequent basket from Joel Embiid. Still, the Sixers had needed a foul. That was some game, though. DiVincenzo and Bruson made 4 free throws and kept the game out of reach for the Sixers. To sum it up, it was a good night for former Villanova players. Indeed, it was. But it was a big game for Embiid as well, who scored 39 points on 12 for 25 shooting and 13 rebounds with 2 assists. But the 5 turnovers in the game, I think Maya did him in. Well, when you have that many turnovers in that kind of a game, yeah, it is going to mess you up. If you have been told as Sixers fans that Embiid will drop 39 while on the bench, combined 42 points, you probably asked, what time is game 7? But scoreless outings from Tobias Harris and Kyle Lowry was a little bit too much for the Sixers to handle. Thank you. But, those dirty plays, those calls that the refs made, I don't – if those calls were made, the refs need to do their job more properly, because that will affect the outcome of the game. They need to work better on these calls, and I think that Embiid should have been called for a flagrant foul 2 in that game 2 instead of just a flagrant foul 1. But sometimes it goes in the other direction. Ugh. Just unreal. But at least we know that the Knicks are now going to be in the second round, and I'm happy with that. So here's what happened here. The NBA released a 2-minute report, or as I call the 2-minute drill, on Wednesday and revealed the missed call on Tyrese Maxey as the Knicks lost to the Sixers in that Game 5. With the Sixers down by 6, under 30 seconds to go, left Maxey went out over a Joel Embiid screen to take a 3-point shot. Mitchell Robertson switched over to defend, but fouled Embiid and gave the Sixers life. So, in other words, hey, keep it simple, stupid, but you didn't. However, the officials said they missed the travel after looking at the tape, which you should have paid more careful, which you pay more attention to. Maxey gathers the ball on his left foot and takes 2 legal steps, then moves his right foot just before he is fouled on the shot, according to the report. After the loss, Robinson owned up his mistake. He said, "I'll admit, I messed up." Plain and simple. Regardless, the referee's 2-minute report had been the storyline in this series. A lot was made by the Knicks' comeback in Game 2, was aided by some missed calls, especially when Josh Hart stole the ball from Maxey. That resulted in a 3-pointer from Dante DiVincenzo and gave the Knicks the lead. And Game 2, and won that game. Game 5's 2-minute report revealed 4 incorrect calls, including the missed travel call. One was a stoppage of time on Jalen Bruson's final shot in regulation, was blocked. The Knicks should have had 4/10 of a second remaining. Not that small out of time, but that's still time to get a shot off. The other 2 was a non-contact foul on Nick Bantam with the minute 27 remaining. That was incorrectly out of bounds when he tried to save the ball with 41.5 seconds left. Oh, love it. And that's what happened there. So I think, as I said in a comment earlier, I think Embiid got away with murder in Game 5. And, it should have been called for a flagrant foul 2 in another game, and it might have been a different outcome. But, the refs really need to know what they're doing here because they get paid to do this, and they make these idiotic mistakes that cost the Knicks the game. And I tell you, yeah, go ahead. Yes. Right. Yes. Absolutely. I'm right. Mhm. Right. We'll see. Yeah. Obi-Wan. Yeah. Obi-Wan. Yes. All right. So let's run down this schedule here. For tomorrow. No, tonight we have the Wolves and the Nuggets. Western Finals game one is tonight. Uh, is there anybody here who thinks that Denver is going to lose? All right. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, it could be a series. I mean, Minnesota, I don't think it's going to go away quietly. I mean, I'll give him. I think I'll give him. I mean, this looks like to be a tougher matchup than I think most people think. I am going to give him 6 games. Steve Davidson, Nuggets versus the Wolves. Wow. Mike. Wow. Dana. Jimmy. Yeah. All right. Diane. Diane. Okay. All right. Alex. That's true. True. All right. All right. Miriam. I know you're there, Miriam. Always want to get in trouble. All right. So tomorrow's game is 7 between the Cavaliers and the Magic, which have made this a series now too. Surprise, surprise. Steve Davidson, who do you got? Well, okay. So you think they can win the series? I mean, okay, they can win. Okay. All right. Steve Kent. Yeah. Yes. Mike. Mike. Jimmy. Jimmy. Well, I should say, well, the series is tied at 3, so we should say this game 7. So let's put it that way. Dana, what do you got tonight? Tomorrow, I should say. Well, wait. Yeah, tomorrow the Magic and and the Cavaliers in Game 7 tomorrow. Who do you have? All right. All right. Dana. All right. Diane. And Miriam, if you're there. Probably not. I'm going to go with them. I think I'm going to go with the match. I'll go with the match. Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. Pacers, Knicks. All right. Steve, what do you got? Okay. We gotta make it short. All right. That's you can't, you can't, you can't. I think yes, yes. Okay, okay. Mike. Ooh, I like that. Dana. All right. Jimmy. Thanks. Diane. Alex. All right. Miriam. Mm. Okay, Roger. What do you have? Knicks. Seven. That's true. Okay. And we have one more here. This matchup will start on Tuesday. The Mavericks against the Thunder. Oh boy, this might be tough. All right, Steve. Steve Davidson. I did. I said the Mavericks. Steve Kent. Okay. I figured that. Okay. Guy Alexander. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, probably a shoulder. Probably. You're right. Okay. Mike. All right. Dana. Jimmy. Diane. Alex. Yeah. Miriam. Right. Roger. I'm gonna say OKC in six as well. All right. Oh, Diane, you're tripping. Okay. Will Zito. Chicago Blackhawks. You mean Suter? Yeah. Yeah, because Gretzky didn't come until 1980, so we have to rule him out. Wow. Okay. Moving on. Any more? Doc. The first NHL in history to score a goal. First goalie to do it. No. All right, I'll take option B. Okay. Oh, I guess my prize of elimination is A. Right. Okay. Detroit. Yeah. Red Wings. Black. Blues. Okay, Blues. All right. Oh, Steve, your WWE UFC report. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hurry up. Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Hey, forgot to mention we also have the Kentucky Derby going up in about 2 hours from now. So I'm gonna run down the list of horses and see what everybody thinks of it. Now I know a lot of us don't follow it on a regular basis, but hey, it is part of the Triple Crown. So let's run down the horses, and it's now at 6:57 p.m. Boy, it gets later and later every year. All right, so it's the field of 20. So let's go down right here. Number one is Dor. I think it's Dornach, 20 to 1. Sierra Leone, 3 to 1. Mystic Dan at 20 to 1. That's number 3. Catching Freedom, number 4. I like that. 8 to 1 odds. Catalytic at 30 to 1. Number 5. Just Steel at 20 to 1. Number 6. Hara Mary, Honor Mary, also 20 to 1. Just a Touch at number 8. Encino, number 9. TD Password, number 10. The password is as a 30 to 1. Um, Forever Young, also 10 to 1. Hmm. So from Rod Stewart. Okay. Number 12, Track Phantom, 20 to 1. West Saratoga at 50 to 1. Endlessly at 30 to 1. Domestic Product, also 31. That's number 15. Grand Mo the First at 50 to 1. What a name. Uh Fire Nessence at 17 at 5 to 2. It's kind of weird standings. Stronghold at 20 to 1 at number 18. Number 19, Resilience, 20 to 1. Number 20, Society Man at 50 to 1. Number 21, Epic Ride at 30 to 1. All right, guys. Interesting names, of course. Who do we like? Anybody can answer. Okay. Anyone else? All right. Mystic Dan. All right. Who else? You want number 4? All right. And that was, give me a second here. Oh, number 4 was Catching Freedom. Ah, I like that. All right. Roger. All right. Yeah, I like that too. I'm gonna go with Catching Freedom. 8 to 1 odds. All right, we'll take care of that. And like I said, the race goes off at 6:57 p.m. tonight. Boy, like I said, it goes later and later every year. I don't know. I guess they want to make more of a free game out of it than anything else. It's the only sport where, yeah, but I remember that. Yeah, but back in the old days, Steve, it wasn't like that. It was, over in 90 minutes, not this 3 hour nonsense for the game. Yes, Steve, and all last time. Yes, we're seeing none of it. All right. Our idiot of the week here, Javon Porter, younger brother of Denver Nuggets star Michael Porter Jr., was arrested on Friday. Actually, I think it was Thursday, on suspicion for a DWI. The Missouri State Kyle Green confirmed to ESPN. Potter was released on a summons and not booked into the Boone County Jail where the incident occurred, according to Green. The news of his arrest was first reported by Power Mizzou, according to the Green. Potter was stopped for speeding for his DWI arrest. He was then transferred from Pepperdine. He then transferred from Pepperdine to Loyola Marymount last season. Last season, he averaged 16.2 points per game, 5.9 rebounds, and Loyola Marymount was looking into Potter's situation. What a jerk! Great basketball player, and you do a stupid thing like that. Unreal. It's just unbelievable what these people do. They got so much talent, and they go do a stupid act that could have killed you. I just don't get people sometimes. I really don't. Please do, please do. Right? Yes. Fine $25,000 for his act. Yes. I was just gonna say that, Steve. Thank you very much. All right, and yeah. Oh, and the for the Hurricanes, Jack Drury scored the goal ahead in the third period, and Stefan Newson cleaned up a puck on the boards 8 seconds after, as the Hurricanes did beat the Islanders 4-1 in that series. The Hurricanes did blow two leads twice, entering the final 20 minutes with a 3-3 tie. Drury scored his first goal of the postseason of his career, contributing the puck to Zipipas Simon Varmolov to his blocker side in the third. Then after the faceoff, the Hurricanes dumped the puck into the Islanders' net toward the corner, but as Varlov went behind the net to play the puck, it took an unexpected bounce, and the door hit right to the crease. Newsom charged it to bury as Varlamov tried to get back into the net, front pushing the Hurricanes to a 5-3 lead. That was enough to push the Hurricanes past the Islanders, earning at least one playoff win in their last 6 seasons. Now you face the Rangers. Good luck. Yeah, good luck with that one, bub. All right. Well, there's nothing much of football yet this time. Which reminds me. Now that you mentioned it, Di, we do have something in football. Uh, because yeah, we do have something in football, and it resolves with the Jets because we got the Mr. Irrelevant Award. Yeah, just let me look. Just let me get. Well, that generally goes to the last pick of the draft. Like well, I'm getting to that right now. Yeah, all I know is that the Jets have it, unfortunately. But remember, guys, that it doesn't always mean it's a bad thing. Because remember, Brock Purdy was also Mr. Relevant, 2 years ago, and look what he did for the 49ers. So don't. Yeah. So don't always look at Mr. Relevant as as like a bad omen for the team. Because oh, no, because it's not always a, yeah, because it's not always a bad thing. We gotta get we got to think about that. Everybody thinks, well, you got the last pick of the draft, no one expects anything of you and whatnot. You're kind of like the lonely man on the totem pole, et cetera, et cetera. That's not always the case. So sure, sometimes they do. Sometimes they do find good picks. That's what we call like I say a sleeper pick, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh, I do have something for okay. The Jaguars released receiver Zay Jones back on Tuesday morning, just a week after selecting a receiver in last week's draft. The Jaguars will save almost 4.5 million against the cap by releasing Jones, who signed a 3-year deal in March of 2022. His release was one of several moves made on Tuesday, including the release of kicker Joey Sile. The Jaguars drafted wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. At the 23rd overall pick. In addition, last Thursday's draft, Thomas led the FBS with 17 touchdown catches in 2023. In addition, longtime receiver Javaris Landry, a 5-time Pro Bowler, who did not play last season, will be a participant in minicamp when that's next week on a trial basis. Yeah. Jones caught 116 passes for 1,144 yards and 7 touchdowns in 2 seasons with the Jaguars. He had 82 receptions, 823 receiving yards, both career highs in the 2022 season. Last season, he missed 8 games due to a lingering knee issue, but Jones was arrested in November on a charge of domestic battery after an argument with the mother of his child that resulted in an injury to his neck, according to an arrest and booking report. The Florida State's Attorney's Office announced in March that he would not pursue charges against Jones, and the charges were dropped. Jones was selected in the second round of the 2017 draft, catching 90 passes at 1,037 yards and 9 touchdowns in 36 games for the Buffalo Bills. Hey, Diane ain't got like that. He was traded to the Raiders in October 2019, caught 81 passes for 847 yards and 2 touchdowns in 43 games for the Raiders. Jones signed a 3-year, $24 million contract, $14 million guaranteed in 2022. Slay signed a $1.2 million deal with $25,000 guaranteed back in March. The Jaguars drafted kicker Cam Little in the 6th round on Saturday. Okay. I told you we have some draft news, folks. Okay, the Dirty Birds have picked up the 5th-year option on tight end Kyle Pitts. The announcement came on Tuesday. The option for the 2025 season guarantees a salary of $10.7 million. Pitts was selected 4th in the 2021 draft out of Florida. Pitts started all but 2 games last season, catching 53 passes for 667 yards and 3 touchdowns on a team that had a deficient quarterback play, according to Falcons owner Arthur Blank. I don't mean blank like a match episode. That came after a torn ACL ended Pitt's season in Week 11 in the 2022 season. He was named to the Pro Bowl in his rookie year with 68 receptions for 1,026 yards and a touchdown. Pitts is the only tight end other than Mike Ditka to surpass for 1,000 yards, and the first rookie season since tight end since Jeremy Shockey in 2002 to make the Pro Bowl. Both names sound familiar. The Falcons addressed their quarterback situation last offseason by signing quarterback Kirk Cousins. That's not your cousin, not my cousin, but Kirk Cousins, to a 4-year, $180 million deal, and drafting Michael Penix Jr. as the 8th overall pick in the draft. Personally, I think she should have been higher. The Falcons hired Raheem Morris as the former defensive coordinator for the Rams in January. The new offensive coordinator for the Falcons is Zach Robinson, a former assistant for the Rams. So the Dirty Birds making some moves here. And I think Pitts is more just, I think Pitts makes a good fit for that. Yeah. I thought Pitts deserved to be higher than 8th, to be honest. Um, yeah, you are. You are. You're right. Chicago. Okay. I got to move on forward, guys. We only have a half hour. All right. So moving on. Okay, we're okay. So we got that. We have, we got more here. See, I told you we have football to do here. All right. Whoever said he can't go home again didn't obviously tell Zeke Elliott as he's returning to the Cowboys after a 1 year absence. Elliott and the Cowboys are reuniting, as told the NFL Network through Zeke is taking a pay cut this time around after making more than $70 million in his career with the Cowboys. Clarence Hill of the Fort Worth Telegram reported that Elliott signed a 1-year, $3 million deal, $2 million guaranteed. Elliott spent 7 seasons of his career with the Cowboys. He was drafted 4th overall in 2016. He had several outstanding seasons with the Cowboys, but when the Cowboys drafted Tony Pollard in 2019, it seemed like owner Jerry Jones handpicked Elliott's successor, so Elliott left in 2022 and headed to them on a 1-year deal. You know who I mean by them, of course. The Patriots. Okay. But Pollard didn't get any closer to a Super Bowl and signed a 3-year deal with the Titans in the offseason. And Elliott had a decent season in New England, but had not signed a deal for this upcoming season. So it came as no surprise that when reported in late March that the Cowboys and Elliott were interested in reunion, both parties met the night before the draft to further discuss interest in each other, and the Cowboys did not select any of their draft picks at running back, a position they so badly need. So it was obvious that Zeke was at the doorstep, of course. uh, yes, yeah, yeah. The massive reduction of Elliott's salary is reflective in the running back market, but also his performance level. He is not productive as he was 2 years ago. Oh, of course, you're right about that. He has not run for more than 1,000 yards since 2023, but Zeke is comfortable in Dallas. If he has more to give, the Cowboys are the team to give it to him. So I think it's a good fit, and they definitely do need a running back. That's been their problem. They've been lacking in that. So obviously, they're desperate, and I thought, hey, is Zeke around? Let's see if we can get him back. So I think well, he's not the same as he was. I mean, who isn't? Who is the same as it was? Back then. So he might be blacklistering a little bit, but that comes with the territory. As you progress. That is crazy. That's unusual. That is unusual. Yeah. All right. So, but I think it's going to be wonders. I think it's going to be a better season for Dallas with Zeke back in the lineup. I could be wrong, but I think he's gonna do fine. Right. Then I gotta get that other story from yeah. That's it. Oh wait, Mike, I got some for you. The Mets are making a change. They're calling a prospect Christian Scott and made his major league debut today. After the Mets pulled up a comeback against the Cubs on Thursday, Carlos Mendoza confirmed that Scott would start today against the Rays. The Mets are moving to a six-man rotation, at least for now, but that's not permanent. Mendoza said he would not the six-man rotation in the long run, saying the Mets will release after this time through the rotation. We feel like he's ready, said Mendoza. He earned it. The way he throws the ball, the way he's been talking about players, about giving players opportunities. And here we are because he's not the only schedule, but he's ready and he has earned it. We feel comfortable giving him the ball and bringing him up to the majors to help win games. He was the sixth overall prospect in the organization's top ranked pitcher has quickly risen through the Mets system since being selected in the fifth round of 2021. So looks like you got a good deal here. What do you think so, Mike? Yeah, yeah. Well, your Mets have been they've been kind of inconsistent. I mean, first they had the 6 game losing streak to start the season, then they start pouring it on. So, but now they're falling backwards again. They're at 500 right now. Not terrible, but I think they're going to need that position. Yeah, yeah, yes, they do. I mean, it's still early, but yes, right. Well, we got time to figure that out, though. Anyway, all right. All right. Speaking of what I said about the Patriots, defensive tackle Christian Barmore has reached an agreement on a 4-year deal worth $92 million, according to his agent Nicole Lynn. Barmore's deal includes a $41.8 million guarantee. Oh boy. Uh, his deal is the largest contract signed in the post Tom Brady era. He was selected in the second round of 2021 out of Alabama, 38th overall. He was entering the final year of his contract this season and was scheduled at a base salary of $1.8 million. The contract runs through 2028. 3 years ago, Christian and I sat down in the green room on day one of the draft, and his name was not called on day one. He eventually was slid over to round two. That was one of the hardest times of my career. Lynn posted on X, they used to call Twitter. Now he's one of the highest paid defensive tackles in the league. Barmore played 44 games, making 11 starts with 133 tackles and 12.5 sacks. 2023 was his most productive season with 64 tackles and 8 sacks and played in all 17 games. Hey, played all season, so not bad. And I think he's worth it. All right. Marlins placed right fielder Adibel Garcia on the 10-day injured list on Sunday with a left hamstring strain. Boy, there's been a lot of hamstring strains already in this season, more than usual. What do you think it is, guys? Why do you think there's so many hamstring injuries in baseball this season? And we're only in week 5. Please do. Right. I just think it's happening more earlier than usual. I mean, yeah, the pitching has changed and whatnot, the new rules and stuff. Some might contribute as a factor, but you do got to stay in shape for that, especially when as you work up in spring training. The Marlins also brought up outfielder Dane Myers, right-hander Emmanuel Ramirez from AAA Jacksonville, and DH Kent Emmanuel for assignment. Garcia is batting 240 with 2 home runs and 2 RBIs, and 18 games that they had this season. He is a career 260. Yeah. Yes. Right. All right. He's a 263 hitter with 140 home runs and 324 RBIs in 11 games in 13 seasons with the Tigers, White Sox, Rays, Brewers, and was an All-Star in 2017. He made his debut in the minors in July of last season, batting 269 with one home run and 9 RBIs in 22 games at that point. In Jacksonville this season, he's batting 237, a home run with 7 RBIs in 25 games. Ramirez, who's been in the minors for a decade, has yet to make his MLB debut. He has no decision, 3 saves, 3.86 ERA, and 7 appearances this season with Jacksonville. Emmanuel allowed 4 runs on 3 earned 5 innings, and 3 innings of relief in last Saturday's loss to the Nationals. He has no decisions and has an ERA of like 10.50 in 2 games out of the Marlins bullpen. That is horrible. That's your ERA? Whoa. With an ERA like that, buddy, you're not going to be in the majors very long. Yeah. Earned run average. That means you give up a lot of runs. That is not good. That is not cool. All right. Nope. Yeah. All right. Well, on to the tragic story of the week. Houston Texans, well, maybe not too tragic. Houston Texans wide receiver Tank Dell was shot in Sanford, Florida, shortly after midnight last week, according to the Texans. He was an innocent bystander shooting at a private event in Sanford, where a teenage gunman lunatic shot 10 people after an altercation. A spokesperson for the Texans said that Dell was not seriously injured and was released from the hospital and now recovering at home. In fact, there were no serious injuries at all. So thank goodness for that. In a statement read by the Texans, said Dell suffered a minor wound, thankfully. That's all. And he's been in good spirits, the Texans said, and we are in contact with him and will provide further updates at a later date. But now he has for privacy. None of the victims were seriously hurt, according to the sheriff's department. It said 10 people were taken to a local hospital for gunshot wounds, mostly below the waist. A 16-year-old was taken into juvenile hall. He was charged with attempted homicide, firing a weapon in public, using a weapon during a felony, and illegal possession of a firearm by a minor. Yeah. What an idiot. So that's our second idiot of the week. So the fight began. Witnesses told law enforcement officials that the shooting started after a fist fight broke out, of course. Someone who was not involved in the fight took out a handgun and started shooting, said by the police report. A security guard standing nearby wrestled him to the ground and disarmed him. Thank goodness. A 16-year-old doing that. It's so stupid. Yeah, especially the youth. Mhm. True. Oh, yeah. All right. I want to go into the WNBA here because the season's about to start. So I want to take your picks for the Eastern and Western conferences. For the East, we have Atlanta, the Atlanta Dream, Chicago Sky, Connecticut Sun, Indiana Fever, New York Liberty, Washington Mystics. And for the West, we have the Dallas Wings, Vegas Aces, LA Sparks, Minnesota Lynx, Phoenix Mercury, Seattle Storm. All right. Steve, any thoughts, East and West? Ooh. All right. Mike? What? All right. Jimmy? All right. Diane? What a shock. Okay. Miriam? Miriam? Uh, Roger, if you have any thoughts. Alex. Alex. All right. Well, for me personally, I do like the Liberty, but I am anxious to see what Caitlin Clark is going to do for the Indiana Fever. And for the West, I'm going to take the LA Sparks. Speaking of, yeah. All right. But what about for the East? Oh, yes, you're right. Okay. And you said the Sparks for the West? Okay. All right. So, speaking of Caitlin, she had a pretty good preseason debut um, for the Fever. She had 21 points despite losing the Wings. But hey, it's preseason, so it's not a big deal. The all-time leading scorer of the NCAA scored 11 of the team's first 19 points, and Clark finished with 16 points in the first half. That was highlighted by a step-back three against Natasha Howard um, of Dallas. Um, Clark went scoreless in the third and sat on the bench for much of the frame. She picked up her third and fourth fouls rather quickly as well. Not good. Upon entering the fourth, though, Clark hit another three-pointer, her fifth of the game, and found Alea Boston on an assist on a pick and roll. A welcome to the WNBA moment came when the game was tied with 30 seconds left in regulation, when Howard blocked Clark's layup attempt with the shot clock running down. Oh, dear. Clark's 21 points, 6 for 15 shooting, and then 5 for 13 from three, tied a game high with Dallas rookie Jaylen Brown. That's a female, Jaylen, not Jalen. She also had 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks, but committed 5 turnovers. Not good. Naylor Smith scored 20 points for Indiana. All right, maybe just a little bit of nervous there because with the 5 turnovers, it's her first game for the professional leagues. So but she's gonna get past that. She's gonna do wonders for that team and for the WNBA. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. She'll be fine. She'll be MVP. She's gonna set this league on fire. Everybody, I'll tell you that right now. She's gonna take women's basketball to heights that they have never seen before. Yes. Brittany Griner. Yeah, yeah. Brittany Griner. I forgot about. Well, Griner is out of it now, but I think she. Yeah, Chicago. Chicago. Yeah, that's right because she got yes. One at a time. One at a time. Well, yeah, it could. Well, depending on the circumstances, of course. Okay, now here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Former WNBA Brittany Griner said in a TV interview on Tuesday that she was thought of attempting suicide when she was in a Russian prison. She sat down at one interview with Robin Roberts ahead of her memoir "Coming Home," which is due out on Tuesday, going through her arrest at the Moscow airport for possession of a vape cartridge to her life in a Russian prison to life back in the States after she was released. Greiner says she decided against taking her own life, partially because she worried the Russian authorities would not release her body to her family. Oh boy. The mistake that landed Greiner in prison was zero point 0.7 grams of hash oil that contains THC, the main ingredient, the key ingredient found in marijuana. Ugh. She then, as she described, as absent-minded, a mental lapse while packing, comparing to more mundane mistakes like forgetting your keys, but on a much larger scale. The Russian legal system had very little compassion for the nine-time All-Star. Her first stop was a prison known as K uh, IK1. Griner was only allowed one roll of toilet paper for an entire month, receiving nothing in some months, and was using toothpaste with expiration date is 15 years. That was a statement according to her. She credited her cellmate Elena for helping her while she was in prison. Her last name was not given. Then came the notorious K2 camp, where she was forced to cut her dreadlocks because of freezing temperatures. Griner pleaded guilty to her trial was sentenced to 9 years in prison, but was released in December 2022 after the U.S. struck a deal with convicted arms trafficker Victor Bout. Her fate was linked to fellow American Paul Whelan, who had hoped he would return home in the deal, but the Russians refused, likely with the intent to foment a backlash against the U.S. government. Oh, wow. So Griner went through a lot in that prison term. So, uh, yes, right. Yeah, yeah, right. It is. Okay. We gotta go on. We gotta move on. All right, UFL. All right, we had Birmingham played Memphis earlier. Um, I have Birmingham. Who did anybody else have? All right, anyone else? Go on. No one. Okay. All right. I have Memphis actually. Okay. Houston, St. Louis. I I all right. Get the Trump leader off the air. Okay, from Washington. Okay, that was a fake call. All right, moving on. That was a finger. That was a thing. Yeah. All right, moving on. So I had St. Louis. Who had St. Louis? Okay. All right. Arlington and Michigan. I'm taking Michigan. Anybody else? All right. Everybody's taking Michigan. That's by the way. That's tomorrow. By the way. And San Antonio versus DC. Steve, I know you're taking DC, right? I'm taking DC as well. Anyone else taking DC? Okay. Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody not taking DC? I guess not. All right. Remember, guys, once we get into the NFL season, we gotta cut this a little bit. We gotta cut this short, so we can get our NFL and college to come in August, September. So we can't lag on one thing for too long. Just a heads up when we start that season. Yeah, I said that. I said that. Yeah, right. Yes. All right. The Phillies play shortstop Trey Turner on the injured list today with a strained left hamstring. Ouch. That forced him out last night's win with the Giants. Turner suffered the injury while scoring on a pass ball. He told reporters that has a significant strain and will miss 6 weeks. That means he's out till at least mid-June or maybe even longer than that. In a corresponding move, the Phillies recall Cody Clemens, Rogers' boy, from AAA Valley. Turner has 2 home runs and 10 RBIs in 33 games this season. With Turner out, the Phillies likely are to employ Amato Sosa. I don't know if it's in relation to Sammy or not, as the regular shortstop. Second baseman Brian Scott, who has not played that position since October of 2022, said he'll be open to taking reps if necessary. Yeah. Rogers' boy. Okay. That's all we need. Yankee fans, good news. Garrett Cole is scheduled to come off the mound today, and for the first time since being injured in spring training. The game was over though, and they did win 5-3. Whether he has a full bullpen or exactly what it looks like, we will see, said manager Aaron Boone. Said before last night's game against the Tigers. I think it's going well so far to build up. He's checking the boxes and his level of intensity of throwing and things like that. So far, so good. Getting him to the mound will be certainly another. Will certainly be another. I hate when this happens. Okay, another step. The defending AL Cy Young winner has been on the 60-day injured list all season with right elbow inflammation and is not expected to be back for at least another month. Cole had been throwing on flat ground. The right-handed pitcher was shut down in March with nerve irritation in his pitching elbow. Ugh, yuck. In other injury news, infielder John Birdie played third base in Double-A at Somerset on Thursday, was 1 for 4 but a walk and 2 strikeouts. Let me ask my Jersey crew, you guys remember Somerset, the Somerset Patriots, right? That's the same team. That's the one, yep. He was set for a workout yesterday, and it looks like to come up the injury list today. Birdie had been on the injury list since April 11th with left groin strain. Boone said he was looking to get back into the mix. April 11th. April, oh boy, that's gonna be a hard day for me. That was the day my dad passed away. Don't worry, guys. I got this. All right. Mike Trout underwent surgery to repair a torn meniscus on his left knee yesterday. But the good news is it's not a season-ending injury. Well, depending how you look at it. I mean, do you like the guy or not? This is nothing. There's a lot more where that came from. This is nothing new for Trout because he's pretty much injury prone anyway, and accident waiting to happen. This will be the fourth straight year he has dealt with some kind of injury, rather significant. And despite that, Trout is 11-time All-Star. How? I'll never know. When they went in, exactly as would be, he said nothing else, said Angels manager Ron Washington, report before the start of a weekend series with the Guardians. Guardians. I can't get used to saying that name. I'm sorry. Washington said he spoke with Trout for the surgery. Trout said he was not sure when he injured his knee. He was leading the majors with 14 RBIs and 10 home runs and 6 steals before the injury. He was again. Hey, look, if you want to make a comment, go ahead. But if you're going to do that, you're out of here. It sounds like a phony. Yeah, I think it's called a hacker. Okay, he was in a good place before he was injured, said Washington. He went through a struggle, but I'd rather have it now. Once he finds it, he can go for 3 months. But mentally, he's in a good place. I've had that happen. I can understand how that took him. When it was announced that he would miss more time, Trout expressed his frustration of being out for an extended period yet again. Washington said to his message that Washington said that his message to Trout was all positive. Trout missed most of 2021 with a strained calf and missed part of 2022 with a back injury last season and suffered a broken hand injury that kept him out from July on. So this guy is definitely accident prone, and it's another accident waiting to happen. Well, he comes back from his injuries. Yeah, but he's an accident waiting to happen. You really want that? Yeah, but you would want on your team an accident-prone player? Really? Year after year before it becomes a complete cripple? Yes. Well, okay. All right. Oh, I got. Wait. Who is the Dolphins fan right here? That you, Jimmy? Yeah. Well. Oh. I thought someone was a Dolphins fan. Oh, that's right. I thought someone was a Dolphins fan here. Well, OBJ is reportedly signed with the Dolphins, that according to the NFL Network. The wide receiver is expected to sign a 1 year, $8.2 million deal. Beckham played 14 games with the Ravens last season. He did not play in the 2022 season after suffering a torn ACL in Super Bowl 56 as the Rams beat the Bengals. The Dolphins was one of the teams Beckham had visited when free agency opened in March. He will slide in as the third wide option after Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Tua Tagovailoa. Before Beckham played his first game with the Ravens, he admitted to consider retiring when the season ended. Obviously, that did not happen. And so he wanted to record 35 receptions for 565 yards for 3 touchdowns during the regular season and caught 4 passes for 34 yards in the Ravens' 2 playoff games and did not mention retirement once when the season ended. So, yeah, I figured retirement. So what? Oh, goodness for you, Di. The Bills have added more to the wide receiver room as after the draft by signing Chase Claypool to a 1 year deal. The receiver brings depth to a receiver room that is being reconstructed after Stephon Diggs was traded, Gabe Davis left in free agency, and Keon Coleman was drafted 34th overall. Claypool ran a 40-yard dash time of 4.42 seconds in the 2020 Combine. Hey, so your team is looking good. Claypool has been on 3 different teams the past 2 years. With the Dolphins, after the Bears trade him in October, he caught 4 passes for 9 games for the Dolphins. He was acquired by the Bears in a trade from the Steelers the previous year. Claypool spent his first 2 full seasons with the Steelers after being drafted in the second round of the 2020 draft out of Notre Dame. In his rookie season, Claypool had a career-high 11 touchdowns with 62 receptions for 873 yards. In addition, Claypool, the Bills signed linebacker Deion Jones and defensive end Dwayne Smoot, both 1 year deals. All right, quickly to this history, if we can do it. Otherwise, I got to get out of here. By the way, next week, in addition to the NFL schedule being announced, it's also Ladies' Night because it's Mother's Day next week. So I hope that we hear from all you ladies out there. Good. By the way, guys, you're welcome to. Guys, you're welcome to. It's open to everybody, but seeing it's Mother's Day the next day, I figured, hey, why not? Yes. All right. 1982, Prince of Wales Conference Final. The Islanders beat Quebec 4-0. Yuck. 1984, Dave Klingman's fly ball never comes down, stuck in the Metrodome ceiling. Oh, wow. It's going. It's definitely not coming back. Junior Felix of the Blue Jays becomes the 53rd player to hit a home run in his first at bat. Hey. Orioles, Greg Olson sets relief pitching record of 41 consecutive scoreless innings. Kentucky Derby, Chris Hunter wins aboard Strike the Gold, his first of 2 Derby victories. Mets, M. Sasser and Mark Creighton are the 8th consecutive pitch home runs. Barry Bonds, his 4th home run as a San Francisco Giant in 2002 on this date. We had a 3-0 win over the Reds. Bonds, the first player with 400 home runs on each team he played. He hit 400 home runs on that day. Wow. All right, guys. So I think we're first player with 400 home runs for one team and 100 with another, with the Pirates. Right. And Floyd Mayweather defeats Robert Guerrero to retain his WBC welterweight title in 2013. All right. So on that note, we're going to wrap it up. Don't forget next week, ladies' night. So I hope to hear from all you ladies out there. On that note, have a good week. Take care and be safe out there. Good night, folks.